Hello, everybody, and welcome to Naughty or Nice with Miss Cassie. Tonight, my very special guest is Master Orpheus Black. I'm so glad to have him back on the show. He's been up to all sorts of really fun and interesting things. So how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Just enjoying this interview with a lovely lady here.
Aww.
Hostess with mostess.
You're sweet. But we are here to talk about you.
Okay.
You've had a lot going on since the last time we talked to you.
Yeah.
You know, we've got quite a list of things we should talk about here. You have anything at the top of the list that you are just dying to share?
I just recently did an episode of League of Steam, which is a steampunk web series that goes on. This is for the third season, third installment. I can't say a lot, but I'm like a featured villain in the League of Bald Heads, the League of Bald Head Villains. And it was magical. I think that's really all I could say. But it was written by Richard Fogel, who was an Emmy Award-winning screenwriter, and
wow.
he also does Batman Beyond and a few other comic books. So it was an amazing little script, and it's a comedy, of course. And this was my first acting gig. I've never acted, although I've been a performer for a long time.
Yes.
I've never acted before. So this was like an amazing trip. And the things that they do on set are freaking amazing. The outfits are incredible.
Yes.
These guys work with like Disney and a few of other things. And these guys are
cool.
amazing prop and set designers who've come together to do this event. It's great. And I can't, I guess you can say everybody, I get it in the end, but, hopefully I'll be able to come back for another episode. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, I hope so. Oh my gosh, it sounds like such an exciting experience. I had no idea it was that professional of a gig.
It was that professional gig. I mean, if you guys ever take the chance to go to League of Steam, either on Facebook or YouTube, I mean, it's an amazing gig. And again, I'm a performance artist. I'm not an actor. I'm not like the Wesley Snipes of alt lifestyle. You know what I mean? I am just a normal person, but through their wisdom and tutelage, I was able to carry off the parts. And, they try and get everything in like 5 takes. It took me like 6, but
Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad.
No, what was bad was having to fall like 30 times.
Oh no, they had you doing your own stunt work?
Hey, I'm telling you, Jackie, I'm the Black Jackie Chan. I do all my own stunt work and everything. The set design. I got to keep one of the part of the outfit though. So
oh, you did?
That was amazing to find a piece of clothing that fits me as broad as I am, and it's just amazing. So I'm going to be wearing it in some other shows coming up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds like it was quite the gig.
It was. I mean, I got some great direction. Great people working with me, great photographers, great cameramen, and the whole League of Steam crew are incredible to work with. I mean, if you ever get a chance to work with League of Steam, please do it, because they're an amazing group of people, and they were just nothing but kind and considerate and helpful all the way through.
Do you have to be bold to be a villain?
Thus far, yes.
I will shave my head if I could be on your show.
Man, you know what? I don't know if they have a female League of Steam, a League of Evil bald head guys thing yet. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not often that I will offer to shave my head for a role, but it sounds like a pretty cool gig.
Yeah, it was a cool gig. Probably the best thing I've done thus far. And I'm hoping to, actually now I've got a little bit of the acting bug, so I'm hoping to do a little bit more, definitely.
Oh, I definitely get that. I want to get back to acting myself. I really miss it. There's nothing like being on the set and memorizing lines and playing off your other actors and well, I don't know. The whole gig's just kind of it's trippy, isn't
And
it?
I'm a tech geek, so anything that has any kind of tech, any type of machinery or mechanics to it, I want to see it. You know what I mean? And they had some really cool working stuff out. I even got my vest, my League of Steam throwback vest on. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, check them out. League of Steam, awesome. And I'm coming. I'll be in season 3. I think my episode airs in August.
Oh,
So
cool.
make sure if you want to support me, support them. It's a great whole adventure. So watch it, enjoy it, love it.
Okay, yes. So you guys have to watch them in August, and we need to get lots of hits on this one.
Yeah, because then they'll come back for me. You know what I mean? Like they won't leave me in limbo. I'll be able to come back, and maybe I'll even, I don't know, convert over to a League of Steam member.
You never know. You never know.
I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming.
I'm dreaming with you. I'm dreaming with you. That sounds like an awesome gig.
Yeah.
So, what other things you have coming up? I understand you have something coming up for Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah, we've been really trying to figure out how we want to make a contribution to society and our endeavors. So what we're thinking about doing right now, and we'd love to hear a little more from you guys, is to take all the members of Cirque du Soleil, go one day only mentor program, free.
Nice.
So we're going to give back to the community. It's going to be a one-time thing. We think we're going to do a donation to a specific organization that actually gives back to disenfranchised fetish and lifestyle people when they fall down. They pay some bills and some other things.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're still I'm still kind of talking to them about that, but this is the event that we want to do. And of course, Cirque has all the best artists. I mean, we have professional riggers, professional performance artists, pro doms, what have you. So basically what we're going to probably do is, start with have a rope area. We're going to have a fire area. We're going to have multiple members teaching all these different disciplines. That's going to be one day, and we're going to take first come, first serve.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
if you guys need a rope goddess.
Well, you guys Cirque yet, so.
I know. Just getting my name out there. But no, I mean, Cirque du Soleil is awesome. I have had the good fortune of being mentored by at least 3 of your members. Mistress Melissa.
Oh, okay.
And Sal.
Okay.
And then you yourself taught me to throw whips better than anybody.
What?
Yes, your whip instruction has made a huge difference in the way I throw a whip.
Well, I'm trying. And I'm nowhere near the best. I mean, you got people like Aragon, who is an unbelievable whip thrower.
Oh, is Aragon a member, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then make that 4.
Yeah, okay.
I forgot about Aragon.
There's Aragon, there's Robert, Bag Sheriff, sorry, on FetLife, and I'm not a bad whip thrower. I don't know if I can show you guys very much, but I'm not bad myself. And but fire is more my thing, and there's a few other things, slave training, and a few other things like that I can offer. And like I say, I think this is going to be a rare opportunity because these people usually get paid to instruct. I get paid to instruct. Damon Pierce gets paid to instruct. They're on sets rigging for different shows, different videos, and I think this is going to be a good time to give back and really put back into the community because, like I say, we're not going to charge. We're probably just going to take a donation in some form, or shape, form, or fashion. This is also going to help me with my, because I won the title recently, SoCal Master Slave 2014. I think this is going to be a big opportunity to do that.
Oh, absolutely. It's always good to give back to the community. It's so important.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I have done, I'm guilty. I've done little to no charity work in the way of giving back to the community. Has given me so much. And, now that I'm a title holder and I'm feeling I'm more compelled to try and do more. But I'm not the only person, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only person that doesn't give back. I mean, it's just a certain group of a certain echelon that's expected to give back. And I guess when you kind of get into that area, you're expected to do a little bit more, and I want to live up to the expectation.
Well, I've seen a lot of the leather community has actually given a lot to the lifestyle. Matter of fact, that's what inspired me to run for Miss Sanctuary Leather in the fall, was of the work that I saw Master Z do in Chicago with the leather out there. And the amounts that they were giving to charity were just blowing me out of the water. I mean, just thousands and thousands of dollars going to these different charities.
Right.
It was truly amazing. And it's because of that that inspired me to want to run. And I will run again for Miss Sanctuary Leather just because I want to give back. And that's my home dungeon, the one that I want to give to the most.
Mm-hmm.
And just running for title, just what it entails.
Yeah, it's difficult. This one wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. It was a great time. I made a lot of mistakes, but you learn from your mistakes. But a lot of people get into it because they want to give back and they want to do charity. But truth of the matter is, we can all give back in some way. When you're Muslims always say, each one teach one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a form of paying it forward. So when you learn, you help other people learn. I mean, I've taught so many people over the years, and I felt like this would be a great way for me to try and get some of my own personal goals and ambitions out there. I mean, I wanted to start a co-op, and it fell flat when I first did it, but I find a lot more momentum to try and do a food co-op now, because a lot of people in our performance community are living hand to mouth. They're artists, they're starving artists, and they perform and they do these videos, they do their shows, and I know they look like they have a lot of money, but some of them are not doing too well.
No, the people don't realize that a lot of us performers and even people that teach, that we don't always get paid.
Exactly.
But we're doing this because we love it.
Yeah.
And I know I myself, because I have the good fortune of working at Sanctuary, that when Mr. Cyan does her food drives,
right,
I will also ask people from my classes to bring food in to donate as well.
Right.
Because, right now the food banks are really hurting everybody. Just because it's not the holidays does not mean you should not be donating to the food banks. There are families in need. There are families going hungry, and we should all give to those that are less fortunate.
And I don't want to proselytize anybody. I don't want to make it sound like it's like I don't want to bring the show down, but I mean there's a certain responsibility that we have to each other, being a subculture, because outside of our own community, the rest of the world kind of looks at us disparagingly. So if we don't take care of each other, who is? So that's why I kind of am looking at this it's not a new organization, but this organization that goes out of their way to help pay for bills when somebody in a kink lifestyle loses their job, or if they find themselves out on the street, or they find themselves homeless. Because there's a lot of times where things don't work out, and maybe sometimes a sub will wind up out on the street for some reason, and we'll need a place to stay, some hotel time. We'll need to be able to be placed in good care, or even a dom, might fall in hard times, who has a family.
Exactly.
And they actually work toward taking care of this. So, I mean, that's something that personally I can get behind. So I think that that's something that we all can do. Now it's just making sure the organization's okay with us doing it. Getting all of my members together, because they're freaking everywhere.
That's true.
They've scattered to the winds. You know what I mean? And and also giving us a reason that all of us to come and donate time that ordinarily they would get paid to do. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. And just as a side note, each person who, even if you think that you can't do something in a big way, you can always do something small way. If you have a couple friends, they're in the lifestyle, get them over. Have dinner, build community, build communication, and start really reaching out to your friends, your immediate friends, and have them reach out to someone. You can build your own community. You don't always have to just go with the confines of what's already out there.
No, you don't. I mean, At the dungeon, the girls, we support each other. When we know somebody's down out and out, we might take extra food out of our cupboard and donate it to the dungeon so people have stuff to eat.
You take food out.
No, I haven't taken any food out of the cupboards. We also donate our own clothes to the donation bin so that, girls that, need a new outfit or just, need to feel pretty can go and get something when we know they can't afford to shop. Mm-hmm. And it just makes such a difference, little things.
Another good thing that I would love for somebody to start is a kinky clothing exchange.
I have seen some people attempt something like that, mm-hmm. and I really think it needs to be more out there, not just people selling their old fetish wear, but actually doing
a clothing exchange.
A clothing exchange.
Because there's so many, everybody remembers how hard it was to get clothes when they first came in. Mm-hmm. Especially, expensive stuff. So if you can't fit it, don't leave it in there. Don't leave it in your closet. Pass it off to somebody else, and maybe you'll get something in exchange. And I think that would be great for us to, take a dungeon, everybody come in and bring their mm-hmm. old clothes, their old leathers. You put on a few pounds and leathers ain't fit. You start to look like sausage when you squeeze into it. You know what I'm saying? You Dunlapping over the top. Let those go.
Yeah, instead of selling it on eBay, donate it to somebody in need.
Because you're never going to get what you want out of eBay. Or even selling it. You're never going
to get the value of what you paid for it.
But you may exchange them for something that does look nice on you or that looks good on your sub or something like that. Mm-hmm. A toy exchange. Toys that you guys don't play with have been sitting in your bag forever. That would be a great thing. It's a good way for new people to be able to come in and get the items, get the things that they feel they need to feel comfortable with being out at the club.
Well, absolutely. And, there's a number of ongoing beginning BDSM 101 classes going mm-hmm. on. So if nothing else, go to one of these classes, bring your own things, and, treat a newbie to some cool stuff. I mean, they'll really appreciate it, especially if you can kind of give them the English of how this particular toy works or something. Do a little mentoring with it. You might get a good sub out of it. You never know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. You might get one that's not jaded yet.
Yeah. So, yeah. No more bitter sub syndrome. God.
That does happen.
It does happen. It does happen to me all the time. Shit. I get so many bitter subs. Man, it's just, I see the email, it just tastes sour. Just, my God. But I guess, I've been jaded about the whole scene. I've been there, so I'm not going to knock anybody else. I shouldn't do that. But shit happens. What can you do?
Well, with any kind of relationship, stuff like that happens. Everybody's got to go through the 5 stages of grief and get through everything imagined or real.
5 stages of grief. I got 50 stages of grief.
50 shades
of grief.
50 Shades of Grief. That's the next book. Instead of gray, it should be grief.
Oh, man. I can't even tell you. So what are we talking about next? All
right, we've got Cirque and Steam and...
Steam was great.
Yeah, that was great. So you've been teaching a lot of classes lately. Anything in particular that is standing out? You have something coming up?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of people who want me to... I just taught a black tie bondage class, which is my form of bondage specifically for fire play. It has a quick release so that you don't have to untie a person in case, something happens. Fire gets in the rope, something like that. So it went really well. We had 45 people that came out. It was like standing room. It was great. So a lot of people said, hey, can you just do more and just teach that part and then just do a fire play class so we can really get the bondage in there. So I'm working on doing Saturday, Sunday maybe.
Like a part 1, part 2.
Part 1, part 2 coming up soon. And so I'm really anxious to do that, to get that done. And if you guys aren't trained in doing fire play, stop doing it. Because somebody else contacted me recently about them getting burnt up.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And I mean, not just burnt, but burned up. Like, I saw a picture. It was nasty. It's pretty gnarly. So, let me tell you, if you've never driven a car, you don't get behind the wheel because you might kill somebody. You know what I mean? If you've never done fire play, this is not the time to experiment.
No, it isn't.
And for some reason, so many dominants, especially dominants, are scared to go out and take a class. I'm like, if you're really a dominant, assertive, take charge person, you go out, you meet people, you meet your peers, you take the classes, you get the instruction, you practice a little bit, and then you make the person aware that you are a novice at doing this, and then if they agree to still do it with you, then you do it. You don't just go in there, hey, we're going to do some fire play, and whatever happens, happens. You cannot do that. So stop doing that, people.
No, because I know when I first learned fire play, I actually had 3 people supervising me. 2 that were rather skilled at it, and a bottom that just loved fire play and let us play as long as we wanted on her. But I have to tell you, the stuff that they taught me, I still carry with me to this day. I mean, it was good instruction. It made me fully aware of, just how beautiful fire play can be, but just how dangerous it can be as well. And I got to see a few things, and then having the privilege of sitting in your classes as well. And I don't care how long you've been doing fire play, it's always good to take another class because it refreshes your mind on all those little nuances that, as we play, sometimes, we get rolling with it and we might forget a precaution or two just because you've been comfortable with it. And you can't take that chance.
And that's why I really want to do this CERT thing, because it's kind of like a continuing education thing. Because, we can work with somebody who's a novice. We can also work with somebody who's more advanced. And it's like, whatever you need. I mean, we have many people of all levels who can teach all levels. But so many people think that because they put master on their name, that they don't need to do any more. Whip master or master George, not master George, but master so-and-so and master this and master that. They just put this title on them. And now they don't feel like they have to do anything. They don't have to practice. They don't have to do anything. Look, people, I was flogging hours a day just to air. You know what I mean? Like when I first got started, I would take my lunch breaks and just throw them in the parking lot. I would throw them at my desk in the morning when nobody would show up. I would be at home when the kids went to sleep. I mean, I was constantly throwing floggers. It didn't just happen overnight. You know what I mean? It takes that time to really be able to do that. Same thing with fire play. It took me a long time to come up with fire play and to cultivate it and to get it to where it is that you see it now. This didn't just happen. It takes time.
Well, it does. If you knew how long really that I've been tying to get where I am now, the hours that I put in of practicing on my guitar case, on mannequins, on anything, pillows, anything I could get my hands on to tie, and practice over and over again, the countless videos, websites, tutorials.
Oh, I used to use the IKEA mannequins, those little ones with all the joints in them.
Oh, how fun!
I used to tie those up. I had like 5 of them in the window. I would take like string and like tie them up just to practice, where everything went. And then I'd have to tie myself up. And one time, I had tied my hands together, and they were tied to one of my legs, and I heard the kids coming, and I almost broke my neck trying to hop down the hallway so they wouldn't see me because it wouldn't come apart. And another time I tied my head. I had my head tied, and it was crazy tied. And they came, and one of them opened the door while my head was tied up and just closed it back. It was like, I don't even want to know.
Funny.
Yeah, it's but I mean, practice is practice. I really wish more people would just practice. And if you're gonna practice, find another dom that you can practice with. Get some pointers, videotape yourself.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things you can do.
Lots of things you can do to get better. Just before you start doing things with other people.
I mean, I hear of people tying their dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, there are dogs in the house tonight, so if you hear barking, it's just them having some puppy play.
Right.
Of course, they've been so good. Good babies.
God, yes. You never hear KTLA or something like that. You know what I mean? We've got dogs in the studio.
Hey, now anybody in that chat room yet?
Yeah, we have quite a few people in the chat room watching the live BDSM TV. Podcasts are radio shows and not TV shows. So basically, that is the right definition. We have Jason, we have Dolly, we have Sally, we have a couple people with guest with numbers on them. We have a lot of people that are watching that are not in the chat room. Please come into the chat room and join us and ask us questions. And also, we have a new poll there. So if you scroll down beneath the chat room, you'll see vote if Orpheus Black is naughty or nice.
Yes, we want to know what you think.
I'm nice.
Yes, he is a very nice man, but
nice.
he could be quite naughty.
I'm such an angel.
You are.
I'm sensual angel.
Yes, he's essential.
So what's going on in the scene? What can we say to get in trouble with and spark a whole bunch of debate?
Controversy.
You know what? There's I've seen a lot of stuff going on Facebook about how cliquish the scene is.
Oh, it can be.
It can be.
It can be very cliquish.
You know what? I really think it's a necessity of it, because back in the days you had to know somebody to get into a club. Now just anybody can come to the club. And I think people still insulate themselves by staying within a certain group of friends. It makes it kind of shitty when you're a new person, you go to a new dungeon, but still, everybody's like, oh, we're just going to be in our own little world and let you come around a little bit before we start socializing and really accepting you. It was a great question that somebody asked me not too long ago, like why that is, and I think that's really what it is.
Well, I think a little bit it has to do with not a lot of people want to be out. There are some of us that are, we're cool with who we are, but there are still people out there that cannot show them faces on camera.
I'm talking about in the dungeon.
Well, even in the dungeon, they're shy.
Yeah.
Not really wanting people to know that they're into this.
You're in the dungeon. How are they not going to know you're into it?
Well,
That's the one. I've never understood that. It's like, oh, well, maybe somebody's going to see you there. If they see you there, they're doing the same thing. So I don't see how they can judge or proselytize you and you not look back at them like, hypocrite.
I guess I'm thinking more like classes. I get a lot more people in classes that are more secretive about what they're doing than, people that are actually at play parties.
Well, aren't your classes in a dungeon?
Yes.
Exactly. If you came to learn how to tie somebody up and you see somebody else, they're learning how to... What can you say? You're both in the same swing of things. There should be no mindset that anybody is going to out you. I mean, it does happen, but they out themselves as a result of it.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't know. I think people generally need to get over this stuff. I don't think it has near the stigma that it once was. It's become so mainstream at this point. It's like, why are we still putting people down for it?
Yeah, because I interviewed a guy who was homosexual, and he was saying that coming out of the closet BDSM is like the second closet, because when you come out as gay, you may offend some of your heterosexual friends, but when you come out BDSM, you can offend your heterosexual and your gay friends. Everybody can not. I can accept you being gay, but I can't accept you being in the BDSM. And I know a few people caught up in that conundrum, and they're like, yeah, I don't mind you, this, that, and the other, but that's weird. The other thing is weird. I mean, it's a pass the buck kind of mentality. I just never understood.
I don't know. I had more stigma when I came out as a lesbian in the mid '90s than I did when I came out as a kinkster.
You're also a woman.
Well, what's that have to do with it?
Because most people just want to have sex with you.
Well, can I just have sex with women?
Yeah.
I'll let you guys watch.
I want to.
You want to watch? You want to watch? I got magic hands.
This conversation went way left. No, I'm just saying, but you get a lot of people who, I think a lot of people are more like, there's a more, people tolerate lesbians more than they do gay men. I mean, because you see women on mainstream TV kissing each other.
True.
And lots of guys think that's hot. You'll go to a bar and see girls kissing girls, and nobody's going. But if you go to a straight bar and see two guys kissing, there's going to be some ripple effect across the board. So I think people are more tolerant of women in alternative lifestyles.
Yes and no.
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. I mean, there's always going to be the Bible Belt and the prudish people, but it is what it is, you know.
No, that's true. But I mean, people do stereotype, what you're supposed to look like if you're a lesbian, and and I think we need to let some of those stereotypes go.
We can let all the stereotypes go.
We really do. People should be able to embrace just who they are, and none of this choose a side thing. I mean, it really drives me up a wall.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I would like to see more people come out and attend events. I'm a part of a few groups, and I'll see groups with 200, 300, 400, 500 people in it, and events going on and have 20 people there. So I'm like, how do we have so many groups and so many of this and so many that, but we have so little patrons? And if that happens over a period of time, there's going to be no community. It'll all be virtual. And so when you want to meet with that girl and she wants to feel safe and meet in a public or play in a public place for the first time, there will be no public place.
No, I'm seeing more and more of the online stuff, and I get constantly hit up and they're wanting to do these fantasy things, and I'm like, 3 emails, I'm done. You need to come in for a session. I just don't do online kink. No. It's just, it's not my thing. I'm sorry, but I want to feel flesh.
But, also being a performer, we're the people that often newbies see in the club. We're doing shows, we're doing this, and they really weren't interested until they were at the club, saw it, and maybe played. We're like the gateway doms, so to speak, for a lot of the community. So a lot of people wouldn't have even come into the community in California, let's say, had they not done that. Same thing with adult videos. We are, again, the gateway doms to this whole thing. A lot of people would have never thought, oh, maybe I do want to be spanked. Maybe I do want to be tied up. Maybe I will go look for it. And, again, if people don't support those endeavors, they may not be there. And there will be no, very few or very little subs coming into it or dominants coming into it, because there'll be no more videos, there'll be no more locations, everything will be online.
Yeah, and I remember when it wasn't online. I mean, I had like one of my first introductions to BDSM in a CD parking garage during somebody's lunch hour.
Right.
I have to tell you, I've been hooked ever since.
Right.
I love to be spanked and called dirty names. Uh-oh.
This might get your attention.
Oh, do we have somebody in the chat room asking questions?
They've been making statements.
Okay.
Jason said, I've noticed the same thing. However, the kink scene has been the most welcoming group of people we've met. Since day one, the people have always been friendly, and it seems to like everybody already knew each other. And then Dolly says, someone said, Bible Belt? I think I'm under the buckle. And then Dolly said, I've learned a long time ago that you have to be careful about letting too much of yourself out. You have to feed the real you to the people in the tiny bits and pieces, and that's sad. And Jason makes another comment and says, I wonder what people can do to work around that. I myself always goes out of my way to introduce myself to newcomers to rope classes, as well as offering any help as where to find more information like tutorials, and just to try to answer any questions that they might have. And Lolly says, exhausting trying to educate all the time, and when most really don't want to hear or are too uncomfortable. And I want to thank you guys for having that wonderful conversation. And we're back to the show.
Absolutely.
I agree with Lolly. You have, when you're not in the scene, you do have to give a certain amount of your life to the appropriate people. But I mean, that's to say, with every facet of your life, BDSM is just how we express ourselves sexually, and within the bastions of our relationship. Like, I wouldn't talk to my mother about what I do in the bed. There's no need for that to happen. No. You know what I mean? I wouldn't talk to my priest or my so-and-so with that. But there are some people who you do have that relationship with, and you would like to express those things with, and so you can share openly. And that's great. I totally dig that. But once you're in the dungeon, once you're amongst your own peers and you're in your community, why not express yourself as openly and as freely as possible? Why not go to a discussion group that is live where you can meet people? Why not sit at a panel and listen to other people? Why not take classes and be a part of a community?
Go to a munch.
Go to a munch. You know what I mean? Support the events that are there for you, because so many people in so many places don't even have those things.
No, that's true.
You know, there's places. I mean, there's places around the country. Maybe they maybe have one event a year. You know, and it's still hush hush. It's still in in somebody's house, and you gotta know the code word to get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in the Midwest, it's very much that way. A lot of it is very much underground, and they might just have one or two big events in that state, and a lot of times they got to go out of state to hit the big conventions.
And by big event, we're talking about like 20 people.
Yeah.
I went to an event in Tennessee once, and it was all one. It was a club event, and it was only maybe 20 people total. You know what I mean? For the whole state of Tennessee, the whole state of Tennessee. And as many people as I've seen in some of these rooms, you know what I mean? Hundreds of people. You can, 10 of you guys could have came out and made it a better event. You know what I mean? And now the event's no longer in Tennessee. So what are you doing in Tennessee now?
I don't know. I guess they have to wait for stuff to happen in Chicago or something. But I mean, there are a lot of really cool conventions that take place throughout the year in all sorts of places. And, if there isn't an event in your state, I highly recommend you go to one of these conventions like, ShibariCon, Kinky College, Thunder in the Mountains, Kink Fest in Portland, Oregon. There's several events that take place. DomCon LA, DomCon Atlanta. There's Floating World in New York. There's, there is an event for everybody. There's even an annual fetish model photographer thing that takes place in Florida that is the mecca for anybody who wants to be a model.
And JT Stockroom is even giving back. I just taught at Stockroom. And they have Stockroom University, which is an amazing thing where they bring in presenters. I think Robert Dante will be there in like 2-3 weeks. And I mean, that's the guy who showed Indiana Jones how to throw the whip. I mean, if you really want to learn, from some good people, really research your career and have invest in who you are as a person, as a dominant, as a sub. Oh my God. Why do so many people think subs don't have to work at being a sub?
Oh.
Why is this? Like, seriously, like, stop, like, have some time and dedicate that time to you. You know what I mean? Like, make an investment, go to some classes, learn how to set up a formal table setting, learn how to cook, because there's a lot of subs that can't cook or cook badly. You know what I mean? Learn how to do a presentation on the thing. You know what I mean? Learn how to massage or do something like that. Something that you can give that's yours. Instead of just being trained to perform sexual acts, learn how to cater to it. Learn what a cigar is, the difference between a Candelo and a Maduro, how to cut a torpedo, as opposed to, pricking X, Y, Z. So,
Not to mention that perhaps if you take some cooking classes, that are skills that you will have for the rest of your life.
And that's what I'm saying. That's an investment in who you are. It's not an investment in the dom. It's not an investment in your relationship. It's an investment in you.
Absolutely.
And it gives you value.
Well, it does. I've met many young college students that, if it wasn't for a microwave, they wouldn't eat. And there's more to life than that, than a microwave. And there's delicious food out there that is made without a microwave.
Oh, my God. I wish a sub would try and give me something out of the microwave. Yeah. Oh, my God. I'd go ballistic. I'm not eating out of a microwave.
Microwave is only for reheating.
It ain't for reheating either.
I don't use it to cook.
No, I don't even want to reheat it. I like mine, if you got to reheat it on the stove or reheat it in the oven. Don't put it in the microwave. I don't like that.
I have to admit, I actually like warming pizza in a pan on the stove in a frying pan.
Best way to do it.
You know, and it ends up crispy and not chewy like it does in a microwave.
Oh yeah, you got to do it. You really have to take your time to invest in these. Like doms, some really good doms can have a resume. It's like, hey, you know what? I can throw floggers, and I can do whips, and I can do bondage, and I can do this, and I have this much experience. And then you say subs. Okay, what can you do? I don't know. I've never been asked that before. I get that all the time. I don't know. What is there? What should I do? I don't know. You should have some skills.
You know, if nothing else, can you clean a house? Are you really good at laundry or cleaning bathrooms? These are all things that need to be done. Are you the dusting queen? I haven't met a person yet that didn't need their house dusted.
You know what I mean? I don't know about dusting. I mean, because I think anybody can clean some stuff. But, you know,
no, not well.
Here's the thing. For me, anything that I can pay somebody to do, okay, honestly, I don't really count. You know what I mean? It's really the things that a person that it's really what a person has inside. You know what I mean? What their specific desires are and how those specific desires overlap into my life is a contribution. You know, if she wants to do these things for me, she has a desire to do these things for me, and she's advancing her skills in doing this. You know, I'm just gonna make something up. Like she knows I need my car lubed. You know what I mean? And she like to do that for me. That's great. But, you know, somebody who's like just going to randomly do these things because it seems like it fits the kink lifestyle, you know, I don't agree with it. I don't like it.
No, I remember when I had my own place and I was considering several subs, and they all had an agenda, and I would find used condoms in my cleaning bucket. I would, you know, find damaged things. One sub actually finally got her to do a load of laundry. What does she do? She folds it on the dirty floor.
Yeah.
That was just like, my God.
But that's good home training. Somebody should have taught them that before they became adults. You know what I mean? Like, you should learn how to wash dishes, sweep a floor. Not sweeping the floor. Sweep a floor and do all these things prior to you becoming an adult. You know, you should have good table manners prior to you becoming an adult. We should not have to train somebody to do that.
No.
Matter of fact, I don't even think you should have to go to a class to know that. You should know how to do that. In the event that you don't know how to do that, you should recognize your deficit and have somebody show you how to do that.
Take a cotillion class.
A cotillion class.
Yeah.
Home economics.
Exactly.
Some shit like that, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can get trained. Finishing school. I mean, I know that that's not a popular thing to do. But
Miss Manners series has a bunch of good stuff online.
You know, but a lot of these things have fallen by the wayside. I remember when I started out as a receptionist way back in the early 80s, we actually had etiquette training, phone etiquette training. You actually had to take these classes, and they would send us these booklets, and we would actually have to practice answering the phone as the particular greeting that the company wanted, depending on what image they wanted to project. And it was really, really important, because if you're the first person on the phone that person meets in the company, you are going to make the first impression on that customer.
Well, not to go too far off, but just like personal assistant skills. You know, I mean, being able to keep your dom schedule, being able to keep the times, being able to know, you know, his events. You know, she should be a nurse too. You know what he's allergic to. You know, a cook, know what he's, you know. The more skills and the more skills a person has, the more dependent they become on you, the more security you have in your relationship. You know what I mean? It's like if you can do all these things, he'd have to have 2 or 3 people to replace you. You know what I mean? He'd have to have 4 or 5 people to do all these different things, you know? So improve yourself.
Absolutely.
Be better.
There's more to being a sub than just sex.
But sex is a big part of it.
Yes.
It is a part of it.
Well, absolutely, but you know, you need to have a little bit more to offer than that.
Yeah, a lot more. If I cut up a pie, I say sex is 10%.
You know, everybody's got an Orpheus, an orifice that could be fucked. Little Freudian slip there.
Orpheus has been fucked quite a few times.
Sorry.
Wow, that deviated.
Oops. Any more comments in the chat room?
Somebody said good point. No. No, they're talking about going to Munches and trying to get into going to classes and stuff, and trying to find out what cities a lot of these people are in to find out exactly what it offers. Guess is in, I think Rochester's at Rochester, New York. If you join some groups in the area, you might be able to. So any advice for people trying to find places to go to in their local community for the two of you?
Oh yeah, definitely. FetLife is amazing for that type of thing. You just put in the area that you're in and put in Munch or something so and so like that, and you definitely get some hits. And Facebook is a really underused resource, in my opinion, in the kink community, because everybody's scared that their mom or somebody's going to run into them on Facebook. But open up a secondary account, put in BDSM groups, and then try and start going through. I'm a part of, I don't know how many of these little secret groups online.
Oh, that's true. And Meetup. I can't tell you how many kinky groups are on Meetup.
Meetup is amazing because these are people who are actually going out and meeting other people. And Meetup account is free. And another thing is, if you want to go on Meetup and do your own munch, it's like $7 to $14 a month. And then you do your Meetup, and then everybody takes, contributes to the little donation fund, and so they can keep doing it. It's a great tool.
Well, yeah, I have to tell you, I've had more people join my Meetup group than have joined my discussion group on FetLife. And I've only had my Meetup thing for maybe 3 months, and I've got twice as many people on my Meetup as I do in my discussion group that's been going much, much longer.
Yeah. I've seen so many groups come and go. I've seen a lot of munches come and go over the years. And, some of them are really great resources. Just going out and meeting other people and finding out what groups they belong to, is a big thing. I've met a lot of people through body storytelling. That's a great event, too, because you go out to body storytelling, you meet this whole sex-positive community. And you don't have to be in the just BDSM, but being in a sex-positive environment is going to open you up to a whole thing.
Now, body storytelling, is that only in LA, or does she do more in other cities?
She does body storytelling in San Francisco and Los Angeles right now, and then she contributes to the M.A.P, which is a nationwide group. So she does a lot, but mainly the body is Los Angeles and New York. Los Angeles and San Francisco. You guys can look at bodystorytelling.com. Also, you can do body, BAWDY storytelling on Facebook. That's another one, too, that you can look up. That is a great event. It's fun. It's outgoing. I'm a 2-time storytelling champion.
Yes, his stories are the best. He totally floored them.
I need 2 more so I can go back and go for the grand champion. This time I'm going to win grand champion. I'm going to be a 4-time champion, 1 grand champion. That's what I want. I want the title. But after this,
he's a champion.
I'm going to try and win 2 more, and then if I don't win 2 more by 2015, I'm going to stop doing body and move over to the M.A.P.
Oh.
The M.A.P is like my mecca for storytelling, so I'm really, really looking forward to doing that. So I'm preparing with stories. So come out and see me at Body Storytelling if you can.
Awesome.
I want to start recording it so I can put them online.
Oh, that would be really cool. Well, speaking online, don't you have a lot of things that you are doing online, like blogs and different things? Tell us a little bit about how do we find Orpheus Black online? How do we ask Orpheus Black questions?
Oh, you can go to AskOrpheusBlack.blogger.com. So I'm on Blogger, and you can ask me a question. If I pick your question, I will answer it. Please don't give me like a manifesto of questions. I don't have that much time. I'm very busy. I can't do that.
One question, one answer.
One question, one answer, man. And make it blunt and to the point. I understand you need context and background, but I can't get to all of it. You can also get me at theorpheusblack.weebly. I haven't launched the site yet. Hopefully it'll be launched soon. And you can also hit me Orpheus Black on Facebook, Orpheus Black on FetLife.
So remember, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yes, please. As more complex it is, I might go next. 'Cause I get a lot of email. Understand me, like, please put like Ask Orpheus in the title so I can find you, because I have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails a day. So
Oh, yes, I can sympathize. I get a few myself. And
It's
it does
terrible.
help if you put something in the subject line so we know where to delegate the email to so it's taken care of in a timely manner.
hmm
You know, it helps us do our jobs quicker so we can get to an answer to your question
Oh,
quicker.
you know what? Do Dear Ask Orpheus.
Dear,
Dear Ask Orpheus in
Dear
the
Ask.
thing, and that would be good.
Dear ass.
Yeah. And for me, like my Facebook is the best thing because I'm always updating it. I'm always writing. I'm always posting food. I'm an art person at heart, so whether it's writing haikus or poetry or something like that, or cooking or something, I got to be doing something creative at least once a day. So that's what you're gonna find on my page. It's probably gonna be kinky, cooking, or freaking haikus, poetry. So that's all you're gonna find on my page. So if you're looking for that type of thing, you want to hear my thoughts on those type of things, that's what you're gonna find.
But you also have a lot of links on your Facebook to get them to these other places that you're doing things.
Yeah, definitely. And I promote most of my events on Facebook. I have Facebook events. I do some things on FetLife, but they really don't allow you to promote
No.
as good as I'd like them to be able to do it. And until that happens, I just kind of post there. But if you want to know what's going on with me, you don't even have to sign up. Just come there, see what I'm doing. I teach probably 2-3 times a month now, and I'm hoping to continue at that pace and then start branching out. I'll be in Fresno. I'll be in Vegas this year. I'll be in San Diego. Oh, on the 28th, I'll be at Sanctuary? No,
Down at Dungeon Servitus.
Dungeon Services on the 28th.
28th of June. Isn't that the last big play party before they
Before they close. And and on a side note, I always hate to bring like culture and race into this. This is such a monumental thing because there's only 2 black-owned BDSM dungeons in California, and one of them is closing. And it's such a huge, huge thing for me as a person of color that Angelina is letting this go. I mean, she has been an icon and a pillar in our community across the country. Servitude is internationally known. She is internationally known. She has helped so many people, including myself, get to be where they are as far as their popularity. Skin Diamond started over there. Soma Snake Oil was mentored by Angelina. I mean,
Dungeon Servitus was my first actual contact with the community.
There you go.
I went to the crypt and they said, well, you know of this place? And I called it, and Sybil Hawthorne was there at the time. And I have to tell you, she thoroughly embraced me. And she told me about FetLife and a whole bunch of other things that I had no clue about. And that was how I got into the community at large. And if it wasn't for Dungeon Servitus, I don't know, how long it would have taken me to discover y'all.
Yeah. And this is going to, it's going to be a very small event. You're going to have, I think I'll be teaching, and Valentino will be teaching. So I'll be going on first. Valentino will be going on next. And then there'll be an after party. This will be the last play party that there will be. So, I think the people who are going to be there are going to be very much elite. And if you guys have the opportunity to come out and be a part of that, unfortunately, historic, bittersweet event, it's going to be definitely well worth it. There'll be something that you'll be talking about for the rest of your BDSM career.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any more comments in the chat room, Mel?
They're listening to the show and they're making comments. They're talking about food porn and and guess
Simon Blaze coined the food porn thing on my page.
Did he really?
Yeah. You know what I want to start doing is I started doing recently is not only I've been doing the position training and the other stuff. I want to start doing like service training with making the plates look nice.
Yes, presentation. Absolutely. When food is laid out well in a good presentation, it makes such a difference. It makes it look so much more appetizing.
There's only two services comprised of two things: preparation and offering. That's it. You go to McDonald's, they take the order, they prepare it, and they offer it. If it's good, you accept it, you move on. You know what I mean? But if it doesn't look appetizing, if it was all laid out, and nobody's going to accept that. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people just don't know to serve it in a way that's more visually appealing. And that's something that needs to be taken into account when you're providing service for someone, because anyone can grab a piece of pizza and put it on a paper plate. But when you make something that is specifically with them in mind, you have the preparation, you're thinking about what they want, how they like it, how they want it, what time they want it, and what way they want it. That is very, very important, and it takes your service to another level.
Yeah, you are definitely a food artist, but you are an artist on many levels.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your floggers and collars are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to do it with my beautiful wife, Indigo Black. She is a big part of helping me do what it is that we do. So it's just a creative outlet for me at this point in time. I don't try and make a killing at it. It's good to have some money, but I only take the projects I want to do. So that's why they all look like that.
Yeah, but if you ever have the opportunity to have this man make you a pair of floggers, it will be the pair that you treasure for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Oh, man, Angelina, speaking of that, just got her someone misplaced her prize floggers that I made for her.
Oh, no.
Snakeskin dyed to match, and it was her Valentine's Day gift, and it was like, it's a hard thing, so that's a really difficult situation. So
oh my
hopefully
gosh.
they make it back.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. It hurts to lose your prized possessions, especially when you probably lose it to somebody who has no idea of its value or its worth or what it's even used for.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We all have special things in our toy bags. I've heard so many stories of, bags that went awry, and, people spend years building these toys up in their stashes, and their sweet little things that have their special body English on how they do it. I mean, like my personal whip it just really fits how I work. And I mean, I treasure that. I would be really hurt if my whip to go off.
Yeah, I've lost a whole bag of furniture, man. I mean, not furniture, a whole bag of play stuff. That hurt. I'm still replacing the stuff. It's been 2 years, and I'm still trying to get all the stuff back.
Yeah, it takes a long time, especially because you spent more than a couple of years building up that stash.
Oh yeah, thousands of dollars, gone down too. And some of the stuff, I mean, like anybody, you have people who pass on and they leave, you get gifted these items, and those are items I'll never be able to get back. Somebody took memories from me.
Absolutely. Well, we're getting ready to wind down the show here. We've got about 2 minutes left. Is there anything that any thoughts that you'd like to leave the audience with tonight?
On the 28th, come out and see me at Dungeons of Servitude. And if you can't make it, go ahead and if you have any questions, ask me on Orpheus Black. Ask Orpheus Black on blogger.com. And look out for my website, theorpheusblack.com, coming soon.
And if you can't remember all that, just do a search for Orpheus Black on Facebook. He's very easy to find.
League of Steam.
Yes. This is going to be
YouTube.
So freaking cool.
Check it out. August is when my show drops, season 3, League of Steam. Watch it, get caught up, and then look for your bro, Big O.
All right. Now some plugging for Miss Cassie. Come to my rope munch this Saturday. I feed you pizza and we tie rope. It's so much fun. It is like my best class. Everybody loves this one. And next week, my guest is going to be Mistress Madison from out of Arizona. She's always a lot of fun. Boy, can that woman talk. You're going to have a blast next week. I guarantee you, there will not be a quiet moment. Yes, she can. But we do love her. All right. So any last comments in the chat room now? Any votes on the naughty or nice status?
I just posted in the chat room that people should go down underneath the chat room and vote. And next week you can announce on how many people actually voted. And also, what I think this might be interesting to do is to see, go from one year to another or each month and see which one gets the most votes.
Ooh.
And make a little thing out of it. So
yeah, we can see who is going to be the #1 naughty and the #1 nice of the year.
And you could do once a month, and then you can go to once a year, and just that would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
This is great.
All right, thank you everybody for tuning in to Naughty or Nice with Miss Cassie. A big for my guest, Orpheus Black. He's fantastic. Yep. And a big hello there to Miss Mel for running the show. And thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. I'll see you next week. Good night.